I couldn't believe what I was hearing. My heart sank, my hands trembled, and for a moment, I thought I was hallucinating. My parents, in front of our entire extended family, had announced my hard-earned promotion, as if it were my sister Chloe's achievement.
Me.
Standing in the corner, feeling invisible, while everyone clapped and cheered for her. Every late night, every extra hour I had put into my job, the sacrifices I'd made, erased in a single sentence. I wanted to scream, to storm out, to tell them the truth, but something inside me snapped. That's when I realized, enough is enough. No more letting them steal my accomplishments. No more letting Chloe, my so-called sister, ride on my success. This was my breaking point. I knew right then I had to reclaim what was mine and make sure they all understood the truth. Have you ever worked so hard for something only to have someone else take the credit? What would you do if this happened to you? Comment below and share your thoughts. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories. I've always been ambitious, even as a kid. Growing up in a small town in Ohio, I learned early that hard work pays off, even if recognition doesn't always come instantly. My parents, Karen and Thomas, were complicated. They were proud in public, but often dismissive behind closed doors. Chloe, my younger sister by 3 years, had always been the golden child in their eyes. She didn't have to try as hard. She smiled, charmed everyone, and somehow always landed praise I felt I deserved more. After graduating from college, I landed a marketing job at a reputable firm in Chicago. I poured my heart into it, late nights, extra projects, mentoring new hires. I earned a promotion that would finally give me financial independence and pride in my career. But the day my parents announced it at our family gathering, they claimed it was Chloe who had achieved it. I watched my aunt's face twist in confusion, my cousins whisper, and Chloe beam innocently, pretending she had done all the work. My parents smiled at her, oblivious to my hurt. I felt betrayed in a way I'd never imagined, by both my family and the person I once thought of as my ally. That moment etched itself into my memory, fueling a fire I couldn't ignore. 4 days after the announcement, I couldn't eat, sleep, or focus. Every time I thought about my promotion, all I saw was Chloe's smug grin plastered over my achievement. My friends at work tried to console me, but how could I explain the humiliation of being celebrated as someone else's success by the very people who were supposed to support me? I confronted my parents privately, hoping for an apology, a simple acknowledgement. It was just a mix-up, Karen said, brushing it off like it was nothing. Thomas didn't even look me in the eye. And Chloe? She didn't deny it. In fact, she leaned back with that irritating smirk, knowing exactly how much it hurt me. I felt powerless, trapped in a family that would rather protect an image than recognize truth. Anger simmered into obsession. I replayed the moment over and over, analyzing every word, every gesture. How could they erase my hard work so casually? How could Chloe sit there and smile, knowing it was mine? I tried to bury my feelings to move on, but my heart refused. Every family dinner, every phone call reminded me of the betrayal. My resentment grew, morphing into determination. I began to imagine ways to show them the truth, to make my promotion undeniable, to make them see that I wasn't the invisible sibling anymore. I didn't want to hurt anyone beyond justice, but I wanted them to feel the same sting of recognition being stolen, just enough to understand what I had endured. I started small, keeping my plan hidden. Every conversation, every family gathering became a chessboard. I researched, documented, and plotted. I didn't want confrontation. I wanted undeniable proof. Screenshots of congratulatory emails, LinkedIn notifications, even internal company announcements, everything meticulously saved. Chloe, oblivious to my growing resolve, continued boasting about her promotion. My parents, smug in their favoritism, didn't notice the subtle shift in me. But I was readying my moves, quietly gathering allies outside the family, co-workers, mentors, even my boss, who all knew the truth and were willing to support me. I dropped subtle hints in conversation, planting seeds of doubt. A compliment misattributed? I corrected it gracefully. A comment about Chloe's supposed success? I smiled but stored every word for later. They had underestimated me for too long. Soon, the illusion would crumble, and my triumph would finally shine where it belonged, unapologetically, undeniably mine. The opportunity came during the annual company gala. My promotion was officially announced in front of the entire team and senior management. But this time, I made sure my family was invited. Chloe sat in the audience, glowing, thinking she was still the star. My parents looked smug, ready to revel in their favorite daughter's success. As the host called my name, I walked confidently onto the stage, a mixture of pride and restrained triumph radiating from me. I accepted the award, giving a heartfelt speech about teamwork, dedication, and perseverance. I casually mentioned my role in the projects, including the ones Chloe had been claiming. Subtle, yet enough for anyone paying attention to see the truth. I glanced at my parents. Karen's jaw dropped. Thomas looked like someone had punched him. Chloe froze mid-smile. My colleagues cheered, clapped, and even snapped pictures, some of which I knew would circulate on social media. Every like, every comment, every congratulatory message was a nail in the illusion my family had built. That night, they had to confront reality. My success was mine and mine alone. And while I didn't gloat, I let them feel the sting of having underestimated me. It wasn't cruelty. It was justice. And in that moment, I realized something profound. I wasn't just reclaiming my promotion. I was reclaiming my voice, my self-worth, and my power. After the gala, I reflected on what had happened. Revenge wasn't about humiliation. It was about recognition and self-respect. I realized I had spent years seeking approval from people who would never truly see me. This experience taught me that self-worth can't be handed down by parents, siblings, or anyone else. I also understood the power of patience. I didn't explode in anger or yell at my family. I planned, prepared, and executed with precision. The satisfaction came from seeing the truth shine, from having my efforts validated publicly, and from feeling proud of myself. Chloe and my parents had their moment of discomfort, yes, but it was a small price for years of invisible suffering. Most importantly, I learned that standing up for yourself is not selfish, it's necessary. Protecting your achievements and claiming your space in the world is empowering. If I had let the incident slide, I would have continued living in the shadow of someone else. Instead, I reclaimed my narrative and grew stronger. The lesson is universal. Don't let anyone rewrite your story. Life after that night changed drastically. My colleagues congratulated me repeatedly. My boss even featured me in a company newsletter. Chloe avoided me for a while, as did my parents, who seemed to grapple with the sudden shift in family dynamics. I didn't chase apologies. I didn't demand recognition. It came naturally because I had taken the right steps. I focused on my career, finally free from the burden of family favoritism. I traveled more, invested in my passions, and surrounded myself with people who truly supported me. My confidence grew, and my self-esteem soared. I wasn't defined by my family's validation anymore. I was defined by my achievements and my resilience. Eventually, even family gatherings became easier. Chloe stopped claiming my accomplishments, and my parents learned, silently, that favoritism can't overshadow hard work. I had reclaimed my place, and it felt incredible. The best revenge wasn't anger or spite. It was proving to myself that I mattered, that my success couldn't be stolen, and that my voice deserved to be heard. Sometimes, revenge isn't about hurting anyone. It's about finding yourself again. Standing up for your accomplishments, demanding recognition, and protecting your worth can be incredibly empowering. I hope my story inspires anyone who has felt invisible, undervalued, or stolen from. If you've ever had your success claimed by someone else, or felt overshadowed by family or peers, I want to hear your story. Share it in the comments below, and let's create a space where we celebrate victories honestly. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories of triumph, empowerment, and the kind of revenge that teaches lessons instead of leaving scars.